All right, so summer is officially here, and that means summer camping, summer RVing, all of the summer fun. And depending upon what part of the country that you find yourself in, or maybe you're traveling through this summer, we've kind of realized there are like 3 categories when it comes to summer. So you have that thing where it's warm, right? It's just getting warmer. And then you have that thing where it's getting even warmer. And then you have just blazing hot, right? It's kind of like that little game of treasure hunting where you're looking for the thing and it's like warm, oh, getting warmer, blazing hot, except for this is not games, people. This is your comfort when it comes to summer in the RV. So in this video, we are going to break down kind of those 3 categories, different things that you can do to keep your RV cool and stay comfortable all summer long. Let's jump in. All right, so first of all, it's getting warm, right? Maybe you're in a northern part of the country where it's not quite blazing hot yet, but it's getting warm. And so the first thing you can do to help keep your RV cool is open the windows. I know that sounds like such an easy thing, but here's the deal. Just opening the windows in and of themselves, why it's helpful. It's more helpful if you have something like we have with our Max Air fans. Now, this is what we have found works best for our particular setup is we use our Max Air fans and we have them set to where they're sucking the air out, which means that then you have a nice breeze from the windows coming inside. So we have a Max Air fan in our main cabin area and then also in our bathroom. We got these from our friends over at E-Trailer, and let me just tell you, E-Trailer is a great resource for things like this and any other RV accessories, parts. When we went to install these, you can actually jump on the phone with E-Trailer. You can get help with any sort of install thing. Now, the other thing that we found with our Max Air fans that works best for our particular rig setup, because one of the fans is in the bathroom and this one is here, is to keep them on that suck out mode. But they have another mode that you can set these to where it'll actually, one fan can bring air in while the other one pushes it out. We have heard some people say that have maybe a different setup with their fans, that creates more of like a circulation pattern like this. Not so much in our RV, I think, because that one's back there. But the other thing I love about these is that they have a setting where you can set it to where that once it is above a certain temperature, 78-ish degrees, it will open up automatically and start up automatically. And so if you're away from the RV during the day and you just leave your windows cracked, you can set it for that. And then when the temperature starts to rise, it'll come on automatically and help get that air circulating.
It's a good safeguard for pets too. If power goes out and you need those fans to come on, if it gets really hot, this will at least get some airflow in for the pets.
It's the airflow.
The airflow.
All right, so the next thing is if you can and you have that option, think about how you're positioning your RV. So think about where the majority of your windows are. For us, like our front windshield is a huge area where a lot of sun is coming in. And so if you can position your RV where those large window areas are not east-west where the sun's going to be rising and setting, but face those north-south. And then the other thing is utilize any shade. So if there are trees available, use your awnings, use something maybe like an additional awning like the moon shade that we've been using. Anything that helps to shade the sides of your RV is also going to keep you a lot more comfortable.
Warmer, 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 cold, cold, ooh, warmer, hot, red hot, hot.
All right, so now if it's getting even warmer, we got to go next level to keep the RV cool. So first thing that we do when it starts getting warmer than opening windows is we close the windows and we put Reflectix in all of our windows. So now the other thing that we found, because we have a very large windshield in our Class A, is that we actually have these that we've modified. I say we. It was really Ben. Okay, you guys, you know it was Ben. It wasn't we. This was a Ben thing. And he made it better than before. So what we have got is, this is basically doubled up Reflectix. So we have it on both sides. And then he put a piece of foam. He just used some spray adhesive, but put a piece of foam in between these 2 layers. We have 2 of these that go in the windshield. Again, the windshield's where we get a lot of sun that comes through, and that has a lot of heat that then ends up in the RV, but not with this. And then with the foam, it stands up and it forms into the glass, because before we would just throw sheet of Reflectix in there and it would start falling down or whatever. The other thing is that we have taken a piece of Reflectix cut to fit for every single window in the RV, and then we have labeled it so we know exactly what little spot it fits into. Now here's the deal. I have wanted to for a while have this project in the back of my head that I thought would work really well, where I could get like some fabric from the fabric store and spray adhesive that on the side of the Reflectix that comes into the RV, and I could make it look really decorative and pretty, and it would be amazing. And it's still on my to-do list, and I don't know when I'm going to get it done just because we haven't had a lot of time lately. But that's an idea for you.
Probably the best idea anybody has ever had.
If you wanted to make things look more aesthetic inside of your RV instead of staring at the silver foil, that could be done.
And there are shade companies out there that have stuff you can put in windows, but they're expensive. Reflectix really works well.
This is the budget solution, y'all. We're here to help you save money with RV life as well. So this is our budget solution, and we have found this works great for keeping the inside of the RV cool. All right, so the next thing, in addition to the Reflectix and the windows that we can use to help keep the inside of the RV cool, are these 12-volt battery operated fans. Now I say battery operated, it has an internal battery that is USB rechargeable. So the thing that I like most about these, they've got a couple of different mode settings. We have these in several different places in the RV right now, but they're in like the kids' beds areas, one back in the bedroom. But since they are clip-on and they're kind of portable, you could also take it with you outside. So if it's getting a little warm outside, but you still want to be able to be outside, enjoy your coffee in the morning, any of that, then you can just take this along with you. So you guys are gonna have to let me know in the comments below, what are some of the tips that you've used to keep your RV cool? Because we can all help each other out by sharing with each other in the comments below. All right, so the next tip isn't so much about keeping the RV cool, but it's about keeping your drinks and your food cool. So in the summertime, if you have an absorption style refrigerator, there is a lot of heat that's being generated because the way that it works is it's trying to pull the heat out of the refrigerator and dissipate it to the outside. And one way that you can help keep the fridge cool is, one, on the inside of the fridge, have a little fan on the inside that's moving some air around. And then two, have some fans on the outside of the fridge where the vent is on the side of the RV. That's gonna help pull that hot air out and keep that cooling unit on the back of the fridge cool, which in turn is gonna help this stay cool on those really hot days. All right, so the next thing that you can do to help keep the inside of your RV cool as it's getting warmer is not using any of these things for cooking, but move outdoors. So pull out the Blackstone, pull out the grill, pull out those outdoor cooking things and do your cooking outside of the RV instead of inside of the RV. Now, a quick shout out to a sponsor of today's video, the new Freezel cooler. Now, if you're camping, road tripping, or just spending long days outdoors, this thing is a total game changer. With just ice, it keeps your food and drinks around 30 degrees for 7 to 10 days, even in summer heat. Everything inside stays chilled and safe. The key is their phase therma technology. Now, it's a patented insulation built specifically for long-term ice retention. And it's impressive how it really works. It's also waterproof, leak-proof, and tough enough for any adventure. There are two size options, the 14-liter for quick day trips or the 28-liter for longer getaways. Either way, it's an awesome way to keep things cold without worry. You can learn more and order your Freezel for summer by visiting gratefulglamper.com/Freezel. And the link will also be in the description below, and you can save 40% off during the current Kickstarter campaign. And a big thanks to Freezel for sponsoring this video. All right, so the next thing is, it is just blazing hot outside, right? You're dying, you're sweating.
I saw a bird fall out of the sky mid-flight. He said, no, it ain't worth it. I opened the front door and the heat slapped me like I owed it money.
You can't take the heat anymore. You're gonna be cranking up those ACs, and depending upon where you are in the country, that could mean your ACs are running pretty much almost 24/7 in that situation. So let's talk about some things that are going to help this keep you cooler. All right, so in just a few minutes, I'm going to tell you about this and why we love it. But before we get to that, I want to mention that in some cases, in some scenarios, if your AC just feels like it is not keeping up, Well, maybe that's where you could look into a portable AC unit for something like a bedroom. We know that there's a lot of different setups out there where some RVs maybe only have one air conditioning unit for a large space. And sometimes that is just not enough. And that's where you might have to bring in some reinforcements and grab one of those portable AC units and set that up to just help keep you more comfortable. Okay, so here is where we have found we end up with a lot of heat coming in to the RV, and that can make it harder for those ACs to keep up as well, if that is the scenario. But your actual vents, right? So your vents that are vented to the outside where your fans are, that is a huge spot. Even right now, when I put my hand up here, it is a huge temperature difference. And enter this. Now, this is something we use in summer and in winter. So this fits right up into your fan area. It blocks out the heat and it helps the RV on the inside stay nice and cool. And in those extreme winter months, it also helps to block out any cold. So here's the other spot that a lot of people overlook, and that is these skylights. Heat comes in these skylights, you guys, like none other. I cannot tell you how many RV tours that we have taken lately, and I walk in and you can just feel the heat coming in from these skylights. So any sort of cover that you can get on these skylights, whether it is some sort of modified cover on the inside, or in our particular case, when we took our RV up to RV roof to have the spray coating put on, we had them spray over the skylight, and then we just added some extra lighting on the inside of the shower so that we could see. But this has made a huge difference with keeping the RV cool in the summer.
And mounted a little switch here for the LED lights. Now you see her, now you don't.
On,
now you...
off. Daytime, nighttime. Daytime, nighttime.
Backwards, you got it backwards.
Got it backwards?
You have to say daytime,
okay, daytime.
nighttime,
Nighttime.
daytime, nighttime.
Nighttime. Daytime. Nighttime. Daytime.
Here's one more thing we always make sure is running smoothly when temps rise, and that is our internet. Because let's be real, nobody wants to lose connection while trying to stream a movie in the AC or upload videos from the road. And if you travel in an RV and still need reliable internet for work, streaming, or just staying connected, you're gonna wanna check out HomeFi, a sponsor of this video. Now, HomeFi is a multi-carrier network that uses nationwide 4G and LTE networks to give you solid internet wherever you park. No hardwiring or installation, just plug it in and go. This is really one of the easiest internet solutions that is out there. Whether you're running a business, homeschooling, or just want to binge your favorite shows at the campground, HomeFi keeps you connected, and you can connect up to 32 devices at once. Plans start at just $80 a month based on your usage needs. RV life is just better when the internet just works. You could visit gratefulglamper.com/HomeFi and use the code gratefulglamper to save $27 off. And thanks to HomeFi for supporting this channel.
All right, so I told you I was going to tell you a little bit about this and what it is. So probably 2 years ago, babe, we installed, and by we, I mean Ben, the RV AC silencer. Now, this is a huge game changer because this means that the ACs can be on and we can actually sit and have a conversation and we're not yelling at one another.
What did you say? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I said
What? But you're like a Sasquatch. You live in the woods.
Sasquatches are the strongest animal on the planet.
Because it actually makes them so much more quiet. But here's the other thing. It actually helps to improve the airflow and efficiency as well. Plus, this has what's called an electrostatic filter. So a lot of your traditional ACs have this kind of like, I don't even know how to explain it, like a screenish, but it's like you pretty much need to throw it away and then get new mesh to put it in there for a filter. This you can pull out, clean, reinstall it, and you are good to go. And again, the bonus is it cuts down on having to yell at each other when the AC kicks on. Okay, here's another game changer when it comes to running your ACs during that summer weather. Now, we've installed something called Soft Start in our AC. There's two different versions. You can get one that you install directly into the AC unit itself, or you can get one that is like in the form of a, I don't know if I want to call it a surge protector, but it goes in between your electrical cord and then wherever you're plugging your RV in. Now, here is the beauty of this. Perfect example. Just the other weekend, we were at a state park where our RV is a 50 amp, and to be able to run both ACs, you technically need 50 amp service, but they only had 30 amp service. Still able to run both of our ACs on that 30 amp service with the soft starts. Now, the other thing is because of the solar setup that we have, we can run both of our ACs full power on our battery bank because of the soft starts that are in them. So with our particular inverter setup, those soft starts help to keep that electrical jolt that the compressor needs.
Be careful! You don't want to get struck by lightning!
Well, it's basically not happening.
It ramps up the power. It ramps up the power.
Think of it like this. If you had a big rock that you needed to move and you just ran up to it and rammed the rock to move it, or if you just started kind of gently rolling the rock to move it, the end result is the same. The rock is going to move, but one requires a ton of force and the other is more of a rolling start. That's what soft start does, so that you don't need that big electrical spike that ends up tripping your breakers and all of the things when the ACs first kick on, so that you can run them both on just 30 amp service.
And it increases your compressor life.
It does, because nobody likes to be jolted, including AC compressors. So another way to keep really cool, well, that's just to come on a cruise. So we want to invite you guys. We are going to be going on an epic cruise, and it's not just us. We have our friends from Today is Someday, Phil and Stacy. We have Chad and Tara from Changing Lanes, Howard and Caitlin from New State Nomads, and we have Joe and Rachel from Two Crazy Campers. We are all coming together. You guys, cabins are literally booking fast, but we do still have some that are available. So you want to reserve yours now. This cruise will sell out. It is going to be the most popular cruise of 2026. We'll have more information for you at gratefulglamper.com/cruise. We'll also have that link in the description below, and I can't wait to see you on the ship.
Oh, don't forget to tell them about the exclusives we have for people who sign up through us on our link.
You'll see all of that right below. All right, so we have actually got a lot more other tips where we go in depth on some of our setup, and you're gonna find all of that right up here. We'll catch you next time.